Right.
I'm still young.
Still young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I've just had the wonderful opportunity of being able to go to Switzerland to do an internship for 3 months, and I'd just like to share with you some of the lessons that I've learned from that. So to start off with, I'd just like to share a little funny story about how strict Switzerland is. It's a great country, but they have laws, right? And everyone follows those laws like to the T. So one day I was cycling, and I'm cycling, going or whatever, and then I take a chance with crossing an intersection that there were no cars in the way, but I decided to go through a red light and go onto the sidewalk with my bicycle. Next thing I hear, the police van behind me over the loudspeaker saying something in German. Didn't know what he said, so I carried on going. Then eventually they pulled me over, and I actually got a ticket for riding a bicycle through a red light. So in Switzerland it's very strict. But other than that, there were a lot of things I learned, and I mentioned the bicycle story because over there, it was a very important time for me. The fact that there was a routine every day, and so that's what I want to share with you. I would ride to work every day, and it was something that was a time where I could use to reflect. So what I learned was that if you have the time every day for a long period of time, consistently, over time, you will get used to that rhythm or that habit, and your mind can start reflecting on things that happen through the day. And I had so many revelations or eureka moments, if you will, of what's happened in my life or what I've been reading, what I've been studying. And I've really found a lot of value in that, being able to think through things of what happened, and many things clicked in my thinking and what I've learned over the last few days or what I've been studying and so on. So I'd really like to encourage you to get into routines, and that's what part of Map for Life is about, the habits. So when you implement those habits and so on, you can really see a difference. Especially I learned now over a 3-month period where I'm just using the bicycle, but that's one of the things. But there was a certain point where it became so much easier. Like my muscles and everything were just fine, and there was like a click. Like literally on one day, it was something happened, and then it was just easy because of the habit of doing it all the time. It became a lot easier. So that was a real testimony for me how now I was encouraged to do that in other areas of my life, where if I keep on doing something for very long, eventually it'll become easy, and you'll see the results quite well. But other than that, I would like to share how it all happened. So I just heard of, my dad went there 2 years ago to Switzerland and did some business, and he met up with some people, and then during it was a mastery course thing last year, somehow I came up with the idea of just going there because I have an uncle who stays there and so on, so there was a lot of opportunities. But the thing is, I just asked the question to one of the people that my dad met if they would need help in their workplace for an intern, if they would need an intern or if they would need someone to help out. So I just did that question, I just asked. And from just asking, I was able to go there and have this huge experience. But the point that I'm trying to make is if I didn't ask, I would have never had any of that. And that was a big thing for me throughout that whole time, that if you just step out and ask, if you have the courage to ask, there will be a lot of fruit from it. The other thing that was also happening was when I got reflection from the people that I was working with, they would say things like, you did well, you brought life to the place, you helped everyone lift them up. And I'm not saying this to boast or anything, but the point what I'm trying to make is they said those things, and then I realized that last year, in the Map for Life book, you write down your purpose and mission in life. And I would read over that quite often. And mine was to give hope to the hopeless. And one of those was to be an example of everyday life, of having zeal and passion. And then I realized that after this, that they saw that. I wrote that down not knowing exactly what exactly my purpose is in life, but I wrote it down to get something down. And I knew I could change it. But because of knowing that, I saw the results of it. So even if you're not sure, write something down and you will see the results of that. And then for those of you who are Christians and so on, I also learned something with that, with my relationship with Christ. It was that if you really seek Him, you will find Him, and you will not be disappointed. I found that when you seek Him, He will show up, and He is faithful. He's a father to you. He provides for you. He will lift you up. He teaches you. He won't break you down. He lifts you up, and He's caring, and He's a comforter. So I really want to encourage you with that, with your relationship with Him, to grow in that. But basically the the point that I want to drive home is that routine is very important. So the habits in Map for Life that you build really make a difference. So you've got to keep at it for long and make sure that you do well in it. Secondly, that if you really seek God, you will find Him. So thank you. Over to